Alright, so this is gonna die, but, you know, it's alright. Because I've been trying to replace it anyway. Okay, this is gonna have to do. So, oh, that's not a good. Also, guys, we're gonna have to make another Tijuana trip because I'm running out of cigarettes. So, maybe we'll flip this and that'll help. Oh, that's kind of better. Oh, this is kind of better. Okay, well, I don't know. Okay, so the point is, there's always someone who's had your idea before and they just executed it better, right? So it's not that, I don't know why people always say, like, don't share your idea, don't share your idea. If anyone finds out, oh no, they'll win. Like, there's some, what is winning, right? In the same way you see I have a shirt, I took off the shirt, put the shirt back on. I've got a shoe, put the shoe on, took the shoe on, right? If you have a tool, use your tools to make your community better. Or I will take your tool and I will do it for you, like I always do. Because thieving is real and I've been stealing since I was like 1. So I'm telling you, thieves will take your shit every time. So just use the things that you have. If you want to or don't. Because we're living in a system. It's a system. It's give and it's take. It's give and it's take. Give and take. Or you can be like me and play Monopoly. Winner takes all. Monopoly is the shit. To the other winners, we're taking everything, guys. Don't leave a crumb. What else have we got to say? Let's go back to the superhero story. I like this one. Okay, so we're talking about the STEM superpowers, alright? Also, a lot of STEM professionals don't use their shit for good, so don't believe that. This is why I think it's hella funny that I ended up being on Noun's team because he's as much of an asshole as I am. And I saw it from a mile away. It's like, this narcissist, he cares about no one but himself. He's going to collect the dollars. Okay, so the 6 STEM powers are observation, gathering information using your 5 senses, imagination and curiosity, wanting to know or learn something and being creative and forming new ideas about what you learn. Problem solving, finding solutions using creativity, design, and taste. Collaboration, working together to solve problems. You know, not everyone is collaborative. As you see, I am not collaborative. I do not believe in sharing, and I believe in being at the top of the food chain. So, like, fuck what everybody else is saying. Data collection and analysis, gathering and interpreting information to make informed decisions. Communication, explaining information to others in clear and simple ways and listening to others. Oh, this one's kind of cool. You know, maybe I'll actually send this book. So, Camille right now is pregnant, and this might be a good one. Like, I've read this one to Tubby, like, quite a lot. Like, 10 times. Oh, this one's cool. It talks about mapping the world, feeding a nation. Let's just go over it. Okay, so we've got observation, collaboration, communication, problem solving, imagination and curiosity, data collection and analysis. Where can we find everyday superheroes? I look like a floating head. I'm not. Okay, I'm here. It's just the angle. It's the angle. Okay, so above the earth, this one is about an astronomer. So this is Dr. Wanda. She's kind of cool. Building a green city. So this is why I'm always talking about city science. I think the Media Lab and what they're doing with city science is incredible because it just makes it so everyone gets to be full, even if you come from like a poor neighborhood or if you, whatever your, you know, socioeconomic or ethnic, you know, marginalization factors are, you can still make it. I will also, you know, I will say this, and I will just say it aloud because I don't want to like dehumanize. Like, fuckboys can make it too. Okay, everybody gets a slot. Just don't come scooting in my lane because I set booby traps. So like, everybody thought I was joking until people start dying. Bodies start to drop. Mapping, driving on Mars. Oh, that's pretty cool. Look at that one. Driving on Mars. Exploring Earth's history. Feeding a nation. Now, okay, let's talk about hunger for a moment. And I think some people have never seen, there's a film, Charlotte's Web. Now, Charlotte's Web details what sort of like the economics around the food chain and the food pyramid. And it tries to make a point that even though Charlotte loves the pig must die for her to have dinner. If you want dinner, something's got to give, people. Okay. So, I don't know. Think about that for yourself and what you know about like food and the food pyramid and where you land on the plate. All right, so greening our energy. Helping us understand our bodies. This one's nice. Yeah, you know, biomedical engineering is something I would highly encourage people to go into because I hypothesized this before, but it seems to just be coming to life. This is a Gattacan society, and the stupid fatties are going to die off. So everybody's like coming. Cholesterol over here, diabetes over here. I mean, these things can't even walk. Take 2 steps, they just have a heart attack and fall right down. You're just like, oh, wow, I saw that coming. Your artery attacked yourself. Ooh, this one's cool. Okay, so innovative learning. Check that out. A virtual world's creator. Oh, she's got like a VR set. That's cool. Jumping for data and application developer. Knocking on the door of 3D worlds. Launching satellites. Mapping the world. A cartographer. This is interesting. If some of you guys know that I love and admire Angelina Jolie, and I really like what she did with Tomb Raider. That is a wonderful film. I feel like it kind of depicts sort of the idea of a cartographer. I feel like if you now are an African living in America, even if you are a Black American or a continental African, wherever you are from, you should probably learn a little bit about cartography and basically go get your shit back. Like that would be my advice. I took my shit back, so take yours. Nourishing our atmosphere. Opportunities to save. This is a weatherization technician. Protecting the environment. An environmental lawyer. Questioning our footprint. Director of sustainability. Recharging a whole city. She's an electrical engineer. Ooh, searching for dinosaurs. This one's cool. A paleontologist. Think global, act local. An environmental activist. Uncovering the underwater world, a marine biologist. I would also highlight, so I don't know why I continue to meet people from New Orleans, but maybe people should understand what Okay, so I want you guys to understand what gumbo is. Gumbo is basically a dish that is about, it's about being at the top of the food chain. I don't know what else to say. It's basically you take everything that you find, you just put a net in the water, and all the living things come into the net. Now, if you realize that you're at the top of the food chain, then you put that shit in boiling water, and then you eat it. That's what gumbo. That's what it is. So, I mean, now all these like theories and analogies about, you know, broken window theory and like the crabs in the barrel and all that shit. Here's the deal. If you own the pot, put all the shit in the pot, turn on the fire, eat the food. Alright. Viewing germs and viruses. Now, here's another thing, because coronavirus and the Omicron variant have been taking people out right and left. Now, this is because people have poor immune systems. You know why? Because they have poor nutrition. Because they're poor. Poor people can't afford nutrients. You know, you could live an entire life drinking juice out of a fucking can. V8 splash. If you have one bottle of that shit and one sweet potato, you live for 102 years. Trust me, I know. Studied nutrition. But poor people don't know that. so they just do other shit. Not the point. Let's go back for a second. So even as the viruses and the germs get better and bigger, the nutrients from farm-fed produce also get bigger and better. With the right combination of nutrients from the farm, you could cure any disease. This is true. This is why everyone's talking about Dr. Sebi this, Dr. Sebi that, Dr. Sebi blah, blah, blah. Well, Dr. Sebi learned from a guy who had a PhD in nutrition, and he wrote a book. Go buy the book that this dude wrote and just read the book. That's what I did. So you can do that too if you can read. Washing your clothes. You know, we're gonna read this one because I don't know why people don't wash, but like in my apartment, we have an app. It's a Washio app. Now you put money on the app, you press a button, turns on the machine. I buy these little Tide Pods right at the Target. Pop that shit in the machine, wash your clothes every day. I could wear this for the rest of my life. I'm not gonna get bigger, I'm not gonna get smaller. Well, I might get smaller if I'm trying to lose weight. But that's not the point. Let's just read what this bitch is saying. So she's a sustainable fashion designer. Where does your t-shirt come from? How did they make that t-shirt so colorful? The different materials used in fashion affect not only the colors and the comfortableness of the clothes, but also the environment. Fashion designers can use STEM to help make colorful clothing that doesn't harm the environment. Scientists study different fabrics to better understand their strengths and weaknesses. Engineers design new kinds of fabric for different uses. A sustainable industry makes products without using up resources or damaging the environment. To make the fashion industry sustainable, we need superheroes with science and chemistry backgrounds. It's true. Take your chemistry class seriously. It's cool to watch shit blow up. I learned how to make laundry detergent and poison my mother all in 1 year. It took 1 year. Started putting laundry detergent right in her coffee. 2 scoops every day. First grade. Alright, a sustainable industry makes products without using up resources. Oh shit. Okay. A sustainable industry makes products without using up resources or damaging the environment. To make the fashion industry sustainable, we need superheroes with... Can you still see? One of the environmental disasters of the 21st century is the use of microfibers in clothing made of types of plastic. This is true. Every time clothes are washed, tiny slivers of plastic break off. These microfibers are invisible to the human eye, but end up in our water and can be found in the blood of fish and other aquatic creatures. When we eat these fish, microfibers end up in our blood too. Scientists have found even microfibers in the breast milk of nursing mothers. We need superheroes to create new materials for clothing that don't harm the environment and our bodies. STEM professionals also create and use materials for the fashion industry. Sportswear companies have designed flip-flops, sneakers, and activewear using plastic from the oceans. Even jewelry lines have been designed and created from recycled waste. Many of these companies are using marketing incentives to commit sustainable practices like removing trash from the ocean with purchases. People throw away a lot of clothing every year. Could it be reused or recycled? STEM skills are a part of every skirt and sock we wear. What happens to our clothes when we no longer want them? Can we recycle our clothing into something new? Dr. Grace Tao. Dr. Tao is a fashion designer for people with physical disabilities. She uses her superpowers of problem solving, creativity, and collaboration at Open Style Lab, where fashion designers, engineers, and occupational therapists work together to imagine and create clothing that solves problems first. First, the team talks with the people who have the disabilities about what they need. Occupational therapists provide more data and observations around problems that designers might not recognize. Fashion designers then envision changes such as longer zippers,
bigger buttons, and different openings that might help the wearer get dressed easily and feel comfortable. Once the idea is born, engineers, designers collaborate to create a new item of clothing. It then goes back to people with disabilities who test it and give the designers feedback. Xeroxing our DNA, the geneticist. This is Dr. Georgia M. Dustin. There she is. All right. Have you ever eaten a seedless grape or a watermelon? Did you know much of the food you eat is genetically modified? Every living organism on the planet has DNA. It's deoxyribonucleic acid. Segments of DNA are called genes. Genes carry specific information about our bodies, such as eye or hair color. Geneticists study genes to determine how traits pass on from one generation to the next. They look at the DNA of plants and animals to make new discoveries in medicine and better understand evolution on our planet. This is what I'm talking about, guys. There are dumb fatties out there, and they won't evolve. They won't survive. And we will eat them at the barbecue, just like last year. Okay. Some traits are harmless, such as baldness. Baldness is harmful. Bald people are kind of ugly, so we should let them die off too. Others are very dangerous, like sickle cell anemia, or a higher chance of developing cancer. You know, I think cancer is mostly about genetically modified foods. It's about that fat. It's a certain type of fat that comes in like cheap packaged food. Whatever. If you like biology, you might like being a geneticist. I don't think I would like going into... I worked in a genetics lab, but I'm telling you, they're all about a Gattacan society. They just were working on this fucking nutrition bar. It's like 40 calories, but it's got all the nutrients you need for the day. And it took them 5 years to make that bar. And honestly, I don't even understand why anyone's still talking about nutrition, because... what was I saying? All the people in the valley are still, they're drinking blood. They just buy it from the app. They just squirt it right into your arm. I don't, they put it on the show. I thought everybody knew that. I guess it was only me. Anyway, so if you like biology, you might like being a geneticist. There are many different careers and branches of study in the field. Ecological geneticists study how plants and animal species adapt to their environments. Human geneticists often work in healthcare. When diseases such as HIV, AIDS, Ebola, and new flu strains are discovered, geneticists help develop medicines that save thousands and even millions of lives. Geneticists also work with police departments to help solve crime using DNA analysis. Every person on Earth shares 99% of their DNA with every other person. No, we don't. Only the Muggles do that. We are pure blood. We are Slytherin. They are not us. We do not share DNA with them. I'm going to write that in blood on a wall somewhere. And I'll write a blog post. Let's talk about Dr. Georgia. Dr. Dustin is a geneticist who studies the genes of Africans and people of African descent who live in other continents. Dr. Dustin founded the National Human Genome Center at Howard University to deepen our understanding of the genes specific to African Americans and other populations of African descent. She also analyzes genes related to health problems that affect people of African descent. Dr. Dustin's team of scientists, researchers, and geneticists collaborated to complete the Human Genome Project in 2015. This project mapped 25,500 genes in human DNA, making it much easier to study and solve many health problems. Because of her superpowers of communication and collaboration, scientists can dig deeper into our understanding of genes to help cure hereditary diseases. Do you see the National Human Genome Center? There it is. She was there. Ooh, a machine learning engineer. Now this, ooh, Feifei. There's Feifei. Feifei.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's a train up in the depot. If we wait for the train to pull out of the depot, then it'll be our turn.
Your computer knows you. This is true. Machine learning engineer. When you start typing something into the search window on Google or Amazon, have you noticed that it already knows what you're thinking? When watching Netflix, do you like the suggestions it provides? These suggestions are based on a series of algorithms, which are mathematical instructions used to identify, analyze, and create information for users. With the right set of algorithms, a computer can use information about a user's previous searches to make informed suggestions. This learning process is part of developing artificial intelligence. The algorithms are created by machine learning engineers. That's us, guys. We are the machine learning engineers. Machine learning engineers work with computers, robots, and devices such as Siri and Alexa. AI on our devices can play music or podcasts and give us reminders to do our homework or the dishes. The future of AI is in robotics and computers that can make decisions on their own. Robots might save lives by performing complicated surgeries. Self-driving cars might reduce the number of crashes. Machine learning engineers work to bring these innovations closer to reality. What's the difference between an engineer and a scientist? Science is about knowing. Engineering is about doing. Scientists ask questions and try to find answers. Engineers use the data produced by scientists to design and build solutions to problems. Let's look at an example of a race car. A material scientist investigates and tests different materials such as metal, rubber, and plastic that are strong, light, flexible, and unlikely to catch fire. All these qualities are important for making cars faster and safer. An engineer then looks at the scientific data and decides what materials to use in building the actual race car. Fei Li changed history with ImageNet. She hand-collected data, put it into the algorithm, and changed Google forever. She is a superhero. Dr. Li is leading efforts to help computers and robots see well. Robots and computers use algorithms to view and recognize images. To do this, they need algorithms that accurately describe images so they can be identified and organized. Dr. Li is working to create ImageNet, a virtual library of images and robots and computers to use. More than 15 million images are available on ImageNet. Dr. Li leads this research at Stanford University Artificial Intelligence Laboratory and the Stanford Computer Vision Lab. Zoologists. No, we don't care about that. Other STEM publications by the authors. Maybe we should get these. Climate change. Discover how it impacts the spaceship Earth. Let's actually read something else. So, Dean came out with an article yesterday that I thought was very interesting. It was about the future of AI. So I'm going to stop this for now. But, I gave you guys kind of an outline of the book. If you want to know more, buy the book and read it yourself. Because speechify.